For a long time, I have been fascinated by combat sports. Boxing, MMA, these are more than just fights. They are wars of will, physical artistry, and the ultimate expression of what it means to push human limits. But recently, I stumbled upon a manual called The Boxer, and I'll be honest, I wasn't ready for what it had to offer. This isn't just a story about fighting, it's a deep dive into the psychology of pain, power, and purpose. And today, I want to share why it left such a lasting impression on me. From the very beginning, the boxer challenges conventions. You expect the protagonist to be someone who is scrappy, someone who works their way up from the bottom, but instead we are introduced to you, a prodigy unlike any other. He doesn't fight because of a passion for boxing. He fights because he can. He is emotionless, detached, and terrifyingly efficient in the ring. And that's when I realized this manhwa was taking a different path. You doesn't even move like a normal fighter. His punches are precise, like he is a machine calibrated to deliver the most damage with the least effort. Watching his rise through the ranks isn't about rooting for an underdog. It's about witnessing an unfeeling force, and it makes you question what happens when talent has no heart. If you have watched fighters like Anderson Silva, you know how skill can look almost supernatural in the ring. Silva didn't just knock people out, he dodged punches like he was in the Matrix. But even in MMA and boxing, no matter how skilled a fighter is, there's always that human element. They fight for something, whether it's their legacy, their family, or just survival. In the boxer, we see something darker. The heart of the boxer isn't just the violence or technical mastery, it's about the people surrounding the fight. Coach K, the mastermind behind you, sees you not as a fighter, but as a weapon. The mental games in the boxer are as intense as any physical bout. While you's opponents struggle with their fear, their drive, and their demons, you just stands there, emotionless, like a wall they can't get past. This manhwa dives deep into the lives of the other fighters, and that's where the real human story shines. Each opponent carries their own burden. One fights to escape poverty, another to live up to his father's legacy. And here is you, seemingly unfazed by anything, standing as the ultimate test of their will. In the world of combat sports, we often talk about the drive to be the best. Fighters dedicate their entire lives to training, to perfecting their craft, all for that one shot at greatness. But the boxer asks an uncomfortable question. What if you don't need that drive? What if someone is simply born better than everyone else? This is where the manual becomes a commentary on life itself. For many, talent is something they chase, but for you, it's a curse. He fights not for glory, but because he doesn't know anything else. His existence becomes an exploration of nihilism. You get the sense that you isn't living, he is surviving, drifting through each fight like it's just another day in a world that doesn't care about him. But even someone like you is shaped by the people around him. Coach K's manipulative nature pushes you further into the void, while other characters in the story like Bike Saint Jean, a boxer with a powerful but traditional style, bring in that contrast of someone who fights for honor and meaning. Watching Saint Jean face you is heartbreaking, not because Saint Jean is weak, but because his ideals clash against something far more brutal, reality. And in that reality, raw power and emotionless efficiency often win. The fight scenes in The Boxer are a visual masterpiece. The art captures the intensity of every punch, the impact of every hit, but more than that, it shows the mental breakdowns that happen inside the ring. It's not just about the physical damage, it's psychological. You can feel the weight of every fight, not just from the blows but from the tension. It's a chess game with fits, and no one plays that game better than you. As I kept reading The Boxer, it felt less like a sports series and more like a philosophical meditation. It raises questions about talent, struggle, and what makes life meaningful. The contrast between youth's cold brilliance and the raw humanity of his opponents keeps you hooked. And in a strange way, I found myself sympathizing with both sides. those who fight for a cause, and those who fight because they have nothing else. In the end, the boxer forces us to reflect on the things that drive us, the things that hold us back, and whether victory without purpose is worth anything at all. It's a manual that goes beyond just being about boxing. It's about the fight that happens inside all of us, whether we step into the ring or not. So if you are looking for a story that blends action, philosophy, and stunning art, give The Boxer a read. Trust me, you'll be thinking about it long after the final bell rings.